2024年3月29日、日本時間3月28日、アメリカ時間ロサンゼルス、ドジャースとアリゾナ、ダイヤモンドバックスの第3戦は単なる一勝ではなく、勝ち方を証明する試合となった。試合後の解説では、このチームの本質が静かに語られていた。中心にいたのは、ウィル・スミス31歳の誕生日、自身のボブルヘッドナイトで放った決勝の一打。それは偶然ではなく、その瞬間を引き受ける覚悟から生まれたものだった。プレッシャーに飲まれることなく、ただ一振りに集中する。その姿は、クラッチという言葉の本質を体現していた。試合後、監督のデーブ・ロバーツは語る。彼は特別な場面で結果を出す。しかし、それは準備と信頼の積み重ねだ。ドジャースは序盤に爆発する必要はない。ただ試合に食らいつき、四球や粘り強い打席を積み重ね、最後に流れを引き寄せる。それが彼らの哲学だ。スミス自身は淡々としていた。結果は考えない。ただ正しいスイングをするだけ。派手な一打の裏にあるのは、静かな精神と揺るがぬ信念。このチームの強さは、その静けさの中に息づいている。物語はまだ終わらない。続きをぜひ見届けてほしい。
Will Smith's 31st birthday and his Game 7 World Series home run bobblehead night. He comes up clutch once again, and the Dodgers finish off a 3-game sweep of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia Park. Club Ravine is starting to rock here at Uniqlo Field at Dodgers Stadium. And really, it was a night when the Dodgers bats were kind of the entire game. Eduardo Rodriguez did a really good job keeping them off balance. They took some fastballs in the zone that we thought maybe they normally would swing at those, but just when you felt like maybe this was not their night, Jerry, your called shot, Will Smith, came up huge, came up clutch once again.
First and foremost, let's give credit to Rodriguez. Once again, he pitched a well-of-ball game, a gem. He had everything working, kept the Dodgers offense off balance. That said, this Dodger team is relentless, especially in the later innings. Get a man on board for Will Smith, one of the clutch athletes, not just baseball players, one of the clutch athletes of this generation. Two-run bomb, Dodgers win, and oh, what a scene behind me at Club Ravine.
Well, I'm just going to steal a line from our dear friend Ned Coletti when he says the games are too long.
Yep.
So they really are when you're playing against the Dodgers, because at any moment that could happen. Of course, here in Hollywood, a Hollywood ending. Will Smith on his birthday, bobblehead, everything about it. I mean, what a performance. We say they get greedy, go for the sweep. They got it done.
Well, last year, no team in the National League had more come-from-behind victories than the Dodgers. All 3 games of this series, Nomar, they fell behind 2-0. All 3 games, they come back and win. And it was Will Smith who time and time again has come through clutch. We've seen it in the World Series. We've seen it many years before that, and it happened again tonight.
Well, listen, I think there's the mentality in that dugout that we have seen over the years. The reason why they have won. There's no panic. They also know from guys even coming out of the bullpen, listen, even if you're behind, just put up a 0, hold them at bay. This offense will find a way. And the offense knows it as well. It's a matter of time. They can score runs at any part of the lineup. And Will Smith coming through clutch when he hit that, he knew it right away. What a beautiful swing, getting on top of that ball and driving it to center field.
And there's a reason why he always seems to come up clutch. He makes adjustments, especially in the later innings. Chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes. He's going to make sure he puts the bat on the baseball. But this pitch was elevated. He was short to it and then got through it long, able to create backspin, and right away, he's a strong dude. He knew he clipped it for a 2-run homer. Just a tremendous, talented hitter, but a smart hitter. Great swing.
And people have been asking him for years, Nomar, why are you so clutch? Like, why are you able to do that? And he said, I don't really know. I just love being in those positions. And I think that says a lot about him as well. The fact that he wants to be the guy in that moment.
He wants to be the guy. The other thing, too, is just the way he just looks calm. He's even keeled. You know, when we were coming up, we had veterans used to tell us, listen, young guy, you can't go get up can't get too far down. You really have to stay even keel, not only because it's a long season, but it's also for moments like this. When you come up in the big moments, it's trying to keep that pulse at bay. It's kind of, one, wanting to be there. Two, believing you put the work in and knowing you can come through, and three, end up coming through.
I remember I played with Ken Griffey Jr. He had a walk-off home run, and his locker was right next to me. I was overhearing the conversation, being interviewed by the media, and he said, "Why do you always come up clutch?" Well, Ken Griffey Jr. said, "Listen, I'm not worried about results. Of course you want to come up clutch. I'm worried about what I need to do." And I think that's what Will Smith does. He just worries about what he needs to do. That is, put a good swing on a baseball, because if you do that, more times than not, you're going to come up clutch.
Yeah. So he came through in the bottom of the 8th inning, gave the Dodgers the lead, Jerry, and then Edwin Diaz had to get hot in a hurry to come in. Second straight night. We hear the trumpet blaring. Tatiana Tate's playing it live here at the Ravine. He comes in and slams the door.
Tatiana had to hustle in and get hot as
She
well.
did.
She was able to perform it masterfully. But Edwin Diaz obviously knows how to close out games. And that's the thing. With this Dodger offense, and this bullpen has said it for years, they can find a way to score runs, I mean, rather quickly late in ball games. So you got to make sure you're ready to go in the 8th and 9th inning. Diaz comes in on back-to-back nights, shuts down this really good D-backs offense.
This is why you need a closer. It's why he's so important. They shorten the game, but also it helps with the mentality all around. Like, listen, all we have to do is we have to find a way to just get that one run down the stretch, and you know you can pull this game and end this game. Not only does your team feel that way, and it just exudes throughout the entire clubhouse, in the dugout, in the bullpen, but it also does in the other dugout as well.
Right.
The other team knows you got a guy like Edwin Diaz on the back end, and you're like, great, they just close this game out.
All right, Dodgers finish off a 3-game sweep over the Diamondbacks. Let's head upstairs, check in one final time with Steven Nelson and Oral Hershiser.
Well, Oral, after the Dodgers had 2 celebrations the first 2 games of the season, 2 comeback wins, they already clinched the series. I'm sure there were some expecting maybe a back-to-back World Series hangover in the finale.
It was really close to, like, you know, winning 2 out of 3 at home, winning the series is going to be good. But Will Smith said, no way. Mookie gets the walk. Will puts it out of here. You know, you go back to the beginning. Tyler Glasnow did a solid job. And I can't believe, as we came out of spring training, we don't know what Dave Roberts' trust tree looks like as far as in the bullpen. Well, it's pretty trustworthy anywhere you go on any limb. 11 2/3 of scoreless ball in his first series.
The Dodgers had the most comeback wins in the National League last year. Their first 3 games, 3 comeback victories in this one. You started our broadcast talking about the emotions and the emotional moments that they overcame and endured to get these 3 wins. This one followed suit.
Yeah, 3 celebrations before. Now Will Smith's bobblehead, his family on the field throwing out the first pitch, being there, and then the team really not in a regimen or a perfect schedule yet. And you know what? Every hurdle they jumped so far.
Well, a rare Sunday off day after a season opening series, but the Dodgers have a chance to catch their breath before welcoming Cleveland to town on Monday as we send it back to Club Ravine. The party assuredly on with our guys.
So, are you surprised that Will Smith that came through?
Not at all. You know, actually, I didn't have him in there tonight, and he really wanted to be in there tonight on his bobblehead night and said he felt good. And so it proved to be the right decision. You know, we talk about a lot of our guys, but, man, when you're talking about big hits, clutch, you know, Will's right at the top of the list as well.
What's your reaction about watching that at bat, especially after he goes down 2 strikes?
You know, it was just more of he took some good pitches with 2 strikes down below, and then he got into fight mode, and then you can see him spoiling some good heaters and just trying to fend off potentially that split change or whatever that Murillo throws, and got a fastball that he could, you know, handle and put a really good swing on it. But, you know, there was just obviously with Will, there's just no panic in his at-bats.
What do you think makes him so consistently just reliable in these moments?
I think the heartbeat. I think the heartbeat makes him reliable in those situations. I think his ability to spoil pitches, to put the bat on the ball. He doesn't chase very much, and so he trusts his swing to see the ball a little bit longer with 2 strikes and big moments. And then when he gets a pitch he can handle, then he feels convicted to take a good swing.
Before that home run, we saw Betts take the walk. You know, yesterday we saw Otani just kind of move a guy over.
How kind of pleased are you with kind of those little things that some of the guys are doing?
Very pleased, very pleased. And quite honestly, Rodriguez threw the heck out of the baseball tonight. Their pen came in and did a really nice job and kept us at bay. But, you know, when you got a lineup 1 through 9 that puts together at bats, we're always in it. And, you know, to see guys, as you said, Shohei getting a guy over yesterday and today, you know, Mookie taking the walk, getting on base, and then Will just kind of getting into his at-bat. So that's what good teams do. And, you know, we're not always going to, you know, throw out 15 hits a night or hit a bunch of homers. But, you know, we still hang in there, take good at-bats. And, you know, as long as we have outs, you know, they're gonna keep fighting.
What do you see from Ohtani right now?
Nothing really. I think there are some pitches, you know, he's getting on base. I think that they're obviously pitching him very careful. And there's some pitches that he's swinging at that he's just missing. They were trying to crowd him a lot this series. But, you know, I honestly think Shohei's fine. As long as he's taking his walks and he'll slug, he'll get his slug.
The fact that this is a battle hard in the lineup, and they're veterans and they've been through this before, and you had 40-some comeback wins last year. What's the mood in the dugout when you get into the late innings in a game like this?
I think it's just one pitch, one at bat at a time. Just keep. I mean, you're gonna hear this word a lot, is grinding, and just really trying to grind at bats and trying to, you know, wait for these guys to make a mistake and not get yourself out. And that's what we did. That's what Will did in particular. But I think as far as the mood, just kind of hang in there, keep playing good defense. We got a good pitching performance from Tyler tonight. The pen was really good, and then you know, we were in it till the end.
Tyler, just kind of as you eased into this game, did you find that the stuff for you was kind of just locking in, or how would you just assess kind of this one tonight?
Yeah, I think just missing out over the plate, away to lefties, just late on everything. And I think once I incorporated that two-seam, it kind of got me back on track, and I was getting in on lefties, and it just wasn't so predictable.
When you look at just kind of navigating through their lineup, and I mean, obviously you had an excellent spring. Were you finding just kind of the stuff for you? I know you mentioned just kind of incorporating the two-seam, but did you find that kind of you're in a really good spot right now, and just as you continue to progress?
Yeah, I think stuff-wise and execution tonight was probably not as good as I think my last few starts, but I think as the game went on, I got a better feel. I kind of locked back into that like consistent feeling I've had in spring.
What are those conversations like with Will as you're going back in after the first and trying to get to that place where you know you can be?
Yeah, I think just the first 3 innings. I think Mark came in and was just saying like missing out over and let's try to incorporate that two-seam. And I think we all just got on that same page, and I was able to play stuff off of it, incorporated the slider too. But yeah, I feel like Mark kind of went in and was more of like the let's get that two-seam in. So yeah, thank you, Mark.
Obviously, you're always trying to get outs, but is there an added value that you feel when you do give up a few early runs, like knowing like if you put some zeros up there, like you guys have the kind of offense that, you know, can flip a game late like that?
Yeah, I think at all times, no matter what the score is, I think there's a lot of confidence with, I mean, anything can happen. Like we've had crazy long innings. Yeah, it never like feels good to give up runs early, but I think it kind of can get you in that mindset of like locking and just trying to keep the score small, because there is no like opponent lead that is safe, I feel.
When you see Will come up, you know, in a moment like that, is there ever really any doubt that he's going to make something happen?
No, not really. I just was sitting in here watching, just came up clutch, birthday and bobblehead day. It's just, what a magical night. Yeah.
Well, Freddie, we know there's been a lot of hard contact, maybe not the most results, but today for you to get those results, just kind of how did that feel for you?
Yeah, it was good, obviously. I was just talking to Dylan about it. I mean, there's different outs throughout the course of the year, and obviously there's reason for optimism after the last couple of games. I have been feeling good pretty much all spring training, even the last couple of games, even though I had nothing to show for it. So definitely nice to get off the barrel in the first one and hit a flare up the middle. And, you know, obviously once you get one, you can just kind of like rest easy. And then they played a shift on my third hit, and that was nice because then I was able to stay on a fastball and hit it to left field and on the line. So there's a lot of things that happened for me tonight that was very positive, and obviously Will on his birthday bobblehead night hitting the go-right homer. And obviously pitching, key to the series, starters, bullpen, awesome job throughout.
What did it feel like getting tagged out with a hug?
Well, I stopped and I was like, is there any way around this? If I go out of the baseline, I'm out. If I run back, I'll just run a second. So he gave me a little, come here. I said, all right, let's just do it. And didn't think I'd ever be a part of a hug out on a baseball field, but I actually kind of forgot about that. Thanks.
Are you normally a hugger?
I'm very much a hugger. I think you guys all know that. Emotional man over here.
Dave Roberts said that you lobbied to be in the lineup tonight. Obviously, you don't really ever want the game. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, no, he's always been good. We always talk about stuff. Yeah, he was giving me the day off. I just kind of dropped the bobblehead card. It's my bobblehead tomorrow, and he let me in there.
How special was it to hit the go-ahead bobblehead night and birthday?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of, being my bobblehead night or anything, it's cool to put your team ahead, get a win, get the sweep. So that's more, what I was more excited about.
How much did you feel that you spoiled a lot of pitches, kind of wait until you saw the one that you wanted? The way it's pretty emblematic of this entire lineup's approach. What do you think goes into that?
A lot of hard work. I kind of haven't felt great for a week or so I put a lot of swings in, today in the cage. A lot of work with the guys, hitting coaches. So kind of reap the benefits a little bit on that, I guess. But just trying to get back to who I am. Controlled zone. Spoil good pitches. Drive the pitches you should. That's who we are. That's the Dodgers. That's we preach day in and day out. 1 through 13 guys, whoever's on the roster, and that's how we win ball games.
When you take those couple pitches right before that swing, what does the sort of tell you about how you're sort of seeing where you're at sort of bat?
Yeah, I think. He's good. He throws hard. He's got a good slider. Two fastball kind of guy. I think I was just kind of building confidence throughout the day. Coming in, I was working a lot in the cage. I was kind of lacking it, but I know, in the game you just go compete. And, after a few good takes, it's kind of like, all right, kind of seeing it better. Kind of stick to, seeing the ball a little bit deep, knowing I can still catch up to 100. And, got the barrel on the ball.
What's the mood, the attitude in the dugout in the late innings, knowing you guys have done this so often before?
Yeah, I think there's just, we never feel like we're out of it. We keep taking good at-bats. We keep believing in each other, keep believing someone's going to come up with a big hit. The bullpen always keeps us in it. They're so good down there and, not letting the game get away. It's just kind of a team effort.
Dave.